Hey, welcome. It's Friday night, MNFT Freedom episode number 16. Um, we skipped last week. We had a new broadcast that we're doing. It is Cook and Learn with Amanda and Khadija, where they are showing how to cook on a budget. And in the past, we have talked about so many different things. As far as having the right mindset to have a better financial future, to beginning a budget, to credit cards and beyond, right? So we talked about all these things, and what their show is really doing is it is integrating some of that into your everyday life, because I mean, we all have to eat, right? So unless you're eating out every night, which is probably not going to be the best thing to get to that financial goal that you're aiming for, but you'll end up having to cook at home in order to reach that. And what their program is all designed to do is, Amanda is a just prestigious chef, and she is able to make these amazing dishes that cost little to nothing. Not nothing, but very little. And she's able to feed her entire family by making, a dish that essentially the Monday broadcast that we did, her entire dish meal with all the ingredients that she had to get for it was, I believe, $23. So for $23, she ate like she would if she went to a five-star restaurant. And if you're not familiar, I will share it here. It is on our channel, Heroes, uh, our Heroes Live and in Person YouTube channel. It comes every Monday, and you look for seeing what they have for this upcoming week. It's going to be exciting, and I had a blast doing it with them. They're an amazing bunch of ladies, and they definitely know how to cook. But that aside, and I'm not aside, but that on topic is a good topic for how do we start to get on the right path to that financial goal that you have. And cooking is a big part, which is why we were so, just honored that they wanted to do their show on our channel, because it kind of aligns with what we're doing with MNFT Freedom and, our live and in person broadcasts. It just kind of integrates really well into all of that. And it's a great start. So, if you're used to, your budget that we talked about a few weeks ago, where you're set on a certain number of, a set amount of income, and you have a certain amount of funds going out every month, and you're looking at where you can cut costs. Well, cooking is one of those ways you could cut costs. I mean, we all want to go out and have a nice meal from time to time. We want to be able to make an amazing meal at home. This show that they are doing is exactly that, making that nice meal at home at a fraction of the cost of what it would be at a restaurant. So, with that, I figured we'd talk a little bit about, beginning to cut your budget by, reducing the cost of your meals. And how can you do that? You can look at cost-effective meals. And I did bring up a website here that I found. It's called nogettingoffThisTrain.com. And they have 45 dinners that cost $5 or less listed here. So some of these, you think, well, how am I going to cut corners? It's going to be horrible. It's not going to be so great. But to be honest, some of these, I mean, heck, we do these, right? I make some of these because they're good. I mean, who doesn't like pancakes? And the cost to make a pancake or to make pancakes for yourself is very minimal. And, honestly, my kid and my wife, they love when we do breakfast for dinner. They just, it's kind of like a treat for all of us. But you got sloppy joes, made a little bit different than, beef. This is using turkey, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Come on, it's classic, right? Those are great. We personally, me, Megan, my son, we do a lot of salad, and we do it for health reasons, but also it's a benefit that it doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot to make an entire meal and feed the entire family, um, you know, for dinner, right? Or lunch or whatever. But there's a lot of great ideas on here, and some of them are pretty straightforward. Others are, a little bit more intricate. But the whole idea here is that instead of spending, $50 per meal to cook something at home for yourself, you can substitute this a few times a week, two, three times a week, where you do a baked potato for dinner one night, right? Fully loaded with broccoli and sour cream, the whole 9 yards, and it costs you less than $5, and that would be per person. So if you have a family of five, you're feeding the entire family for 25 bucks, right? Um, so really great ideas on here. And again, you definitely want to check out this show that we're doing on Monday nights, because that's going to show you the more intricate and advanced things you can do on a tight budget. And it's a good way to get started and proceed. Well, look who we have. How you doing, Rochelle? Hello. I don't think she's with us quite yet. Um, but yeah, and it's a good way to get you on the right path and start to, you know, see a end of the light at the end of the tunnel to that financial freedom, where it may only be substituting a $5 meal twice a week, and now all of a sudden you're able to put aside 30 to $50.
Hello?
Hey, how you
Oh,
doing?
you can hear me. I was wasn't sure. Hang on. I'm on the phone, so bear with me.
Hey, no worries, no worries. We're rocking out there. But yeah, so by substituting, some more cost-effective meals a couple days a week, that's kind of like what we talked about, where you substitute, or do something at home, like instead of going to the coffee shop on a daily basis, this would be
Can you
making.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Beautiful. I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt you?
Uh, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. I was kind of going into, I figured we were going to have some guests tonight. So I was talking about, cooking on a budget, and how that can be a good start, like we were talking about in the past, where when you're looking at your budget and where you can cut corners, substituting a budget friendly meal for the family once or twice a week can get you that head start that you need to put some of those funds aside to be able to hit your financial goals.
100%. 100%. I could tell you that, grocery shopping, the cost for food has certainly gone up, and we're adults, so
Yeah.
pretty much we could get around certain things, but especially if you have younger kids, they might have certain dietary needs, and so when you're food shopping, it's really hard to figure out where to save, how to save, and
Yep.
even if you can. Um, the first pilot show that we did was really amazing. She prepared that meal. It's her and her son, I believe. So family of two. I might be wrong. Might be a family of two or three for Amanda, and she prepared that meal for under $20. Now she used shrimp
Yeah.
in her meal, and Khadijah, who has a family of five, so it's actually a family of six if you count her with the kids, spend the same amount and was able to fully feed her family for $20
Using chicken. Yeah.
using chicken. Yep.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
Amanda had food for 2 days. And I think when I last caught up with Khadijah, she said she had a little bit left over for the next day as well.
Yep. Nice. And you got to love those leftovers, right?
Heck
Um,
yeah.
one of the things that I always do is I plan my week when we have taco night, right? Who doesn't like tacos, right? So when we do our taco night, I make enough taco meat that the leftovers end up becoming chili, either the following night or the night after.
There's
Um,
some great solutions for tacos too. It doesn't always have to be the lean ground beef, because when
right?
I look at it, you have to look at the fat to ratio content, and I look at the percentage of lean versus fat in it. And the lean can get pretty pricey. As a healthy alternative and also cost effective, is turkey.
Yep. Yep. And I was just mentioning that because I brought up this website that is pretty cool. It's 20 dinners that cost $5 or less. And one of the dinners is sloppy joes using ground turkey.
Oh, I
And
love sloppy joes.
yeah, who doesn't, right? Um, but and I was talking about how you can substitute these, inexpensive $5 dinners once or twice a week, and that's kind of where you jumped in. Um, but I have a question for you. So I'm going to share mine, but do you have a budget-friendly meal that you grew up with that kind of like takes you back, right? It's not really so much a sacrifice as it is a treat because
Oh
it
yeah.
reminds you of your childhood. What is it?
All day long. You got to remember that my roots are primarily Caribbean, right?
Hmm.
Um, a strange mixture of oil and water because my mom was Catholic, my dad Hindu. Go figure. I don't ask the question anymore, right? They're both passed on, but go figure how they got together and what the holidays were like in my house, right? Very different. In as as I got older, people, they're all about vegetarian meals, and I think back to the bulk of the foods in my childhood and realize we had a lot of vegetarian meals in our household that excluded meat, and I never really thought about it as a sacrifice, right?
Hmm.
Um, in today's society, they look at it like that, but back then, I just knew it was my favorite food, and my favorite food is split peas with rice and something called tomato choka.
Okay.
There's no meat involved, and literally that meal can cost you under $5. It's plentiful, it's nutritious, and to me, just plain tasty. I love it. It is my favorite food of all time.
No, that's what it is. Now, how much if you wanted to make that today for you and your kids? How much would it cost you to make that?
It's two ripened tomatoes. You fire roast it, mush it up with some garlic, oil, a little bit of oil, just tiny drop of oil, and onion. So you figure just for that because it's something that you can't really refrigerate. The tomato choka, you can't really refrigerate
Hmm.
that. A pound of yellow split peas is about 98 cents to $1.06 if you get it from Walmart. I like the Goya brand, and I know the Goya brand is typically about 216, but you can just get any yellow split peas.
Hmm.
And rice, typically you get the Minute Maid. Um, I think it's maybe I want to say a pound, maybe not that much. You can
Okay.
use the Minute Maid brand or whatever brand you're comfortable with rice, and a box of that. So maybe $5, $6
Nice.
altogether because tomatoes, if you pick those up, I like the heirloom tomatoes. Those tend to be a little bit more expensive, but the
Hmm.
vine ripened tomatoes are just as good as well. Um, so altogether with fresh produce, rice, and the peas, you're at about $5 to $6.
Nice. Yeah. So for me, um, my well, I guess our parents and their parents, they kind of lived through. Well, it would be my grandparents. Lived through the Great Depression, so it was like always, you know, the cutting the corners wherever you could. And one of the things that my grandmother always made when I was a kid was Campbell's cream of chicken soup over waffles. Right? My wife looked at me and cringed when I said, "You got to try this. It's amazing."
Over waffles?
Over waffles.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes. So it was an inexpensive meal. You're talking what, $2 for a can of Campbell's now, I think. And then the cost to make waffles, which, if you buy like the big box of pancake mix, you just add an extra egg to it, and you can turn it into waffles. So for right about $5, I can feed the entire family with cream of chicken soup over waffles. And again, don't knock it till you try it, but it is so good. Now being an adult and a little bit more frivolous, I guess. I'll actually cook chicken and add chicken to the cream of chicken soup to put a little bit more substance there. But you don't have to. I mean, it tastes good without the additional chicken. It's just all around good. Yeah. But
Hoping that
anyway,
Amanda could join us tonight, and I do apologize. I am outside and mobile, so we may not have the best connection. So I apologize in advance if I'm breaking up. I was hoping that she would join us tonight because I know they are planning, as part of the series, to do um, really nice meals with canned meat, stuff that you get from the food pantry, and show you how to really class it up. So don't underestimate. Um, the things that you currently have in your cupboard that you think you can't do anything with. Um, I will do one even better with the cream of chicken, which let me tell you, at first I kind of gave this person the side eye, but
I'm
for
telling you,
real,
you tried the cream of it, but go ahead.
that cream of chicken, that canned cream of chicken, you
Hmm.
could create some serious masterpieces with that, and you're not thinking just with fresh ingredients, even with rice. There's so much you could do with it.
Yep, absolutely. And I do and it's kind of funny because we make a cabbage and sausage stew over the winter
Ooh,
that
love
takes
cabbage.
cream. Yeah, it requires cream of celery soup, but that goes in at the very end.
Huh?
And it
Never
is
tried that.
it is really really good, but you have to make the broth, and it pretty much cooks all day and smells up the whole house, and you just are, it's kind of like Thanksgiving or Christmas, right? You have that food cooking all day and you just are craving it throughout the day. Same thing with this. It's just, you let it, the stock kind of cook, and everything kind of softens up, the vegetables, the potatoes, and it pulls out all the flavoring and spices from the sausage. And then the last half hour or so, you add your cabbage. And then once the cabbage gets soft, uh, right about 5 minutes before you're done, you add your cream of celery soup, just one can, and that's for like a massive pot. We always have a boatload of leftovers, and it just is that final touch that really makes it. And yeah, we do like that as well. But yeah, that's interesting. I was kind of like you, was hoping for the one of them to hop in and kind of share, because I was curious to see what their inexpensive childhood meal was that they have now, that just is more of a reminiscent type of thing, or it's a feel good meal. Did I lose you again?
Can you,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Amanda? One of the things that she had talked about, she has a big a big a big dinner plan tonight. That's so she said she would pop in for a few minutes. So it might be a little later on in the broadcast that she popped in. But Hope surprised me this week. She had made tacos one night, and she no, she had made um we love the Bush's vegetarian beans.
Yep.
So she made that with rice one night. Um, and let me, I will tell you right now, I was, I bit into it. I was like, what the, right? So that, but there was, it's, again, it's just the two of us. And she was like, Mom, I'm not wasting any food.
Hmm.
And so the next night, she added chicken, um, a little cilantro guacamole mix thing that she made, um, and turned it into tacos the following night.
Nice.
Um, I didn't know what it was. What I just said, "Oh, Mom, we're having tacos." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." Bit into it, I was like, "What in the holy?" Right? I was like, "What in the?" Right? I was like, "Honey, this really doesn't go well together. Um, this mixture is just kind of, yeah, it's a little too sweet for me."
Hmm.
Um, she said, "Okay, try it this way." And so the second taco she made that night, she didn't include the beans, was just the plain white rice. But because she mixed it with that fresh cilantro mix thing that she made from her guacamole,
Uh-huh.
um, it was absolutely delicious.
Hmm.
Delicious.
Yep.
And I would have never thought to use the rice that way. Typically, if I do make rice to go with tacos, I make the Spanish rice or the Mexican rice.
Yep.
No, this was just a plain white rice. She took it, mixed the guacamole, and I don't honestly think you could call it guacamole because it was a little bit thinner than the guacamole.
Yep.
She kind of stretched it out. She added some white vinegar, and I don't know what else she had put in it, but it was absolutely scrumptious.
Nice. Nice. Well, definitely would have had lemon or lime in it because otherwise guacamole turns brown. It oxidizes quick.
She said she used, oh, what was it? She said, I think that's what she used the white vinegar for. I
Okay.
think. I'm not sure, but
Huh.
yeah, adding the fresh citrus to it does make a difference. But it was really good. Yeah, I mean, it was really good.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I never would have thought to put rice, but I mean, usually when we do tacos, I'll do rice and beans, or if we are making empanadas, I'll make rice and beans with that. Um, and then, I mean, the rice and beans are a meal themselves. So, I mean, I'll have that for like the rest of the week.
Yeah, she gets very experimental in the kitchen. I will tell you that she made a taco one time with black beans. I mean, not black beans, black eyed peas. I
Oh,
was
wow.
again. So she has learned not to tell me what's in it before I eat it because if she tells me, I won't even try it. Like she made something with cinnamon, and I hate cinnamon on a whole. Oh, it was my steak. Oh my God. I think it was either for my birthday or was some special day that she cooked for me. And
Uh-huh.
she made my steak, and I was really looking forward to this steak, Scott. And the minute she told me she put cinnamon in it, I went off the rails. Like I was so upset because this cut of steak cost me so much, and I was so upset. And then I was of course not gonna waste it. I bit into it. Let me tell you, that is the only way she can cook my steak now.
Wow.
It
Wow.
tasted that good. It tasted
Really?
that flipping good.
I never would have thought to put cinnamon
Yeah, she
on
gets
steak.
she gets it. I think for her, she likes to just go in the kitchen, open up the cabinets, and say, I wonder what this tastes like," and then cook it. She learned never to tell me what she's put in it, because the minute she does, I'm like, no, I'm good. Just, but again, having an open mind and trying new things, you're gonna miss out on some really fantastic things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know when I was in college, we were talking about, or you were talking about a lot of your meals as a kid were vegetarian. When I was in college, we didn't have a whole lot of money. I didn't have a whole lot of money, so we lived on SpaghettiOs and ramen. But
I remember you telling me that.
yeah, but as a treat, I would buy like a box of pasta and broccoli, and there's a salad dressing called gazebo room, and some mozzarella cheese, and I would make it, cook everything up, and then put it all together and throw the salad dressing over top of it, and it was good hot or cold. And
Check this out. She made mac and cheese, um, and because she forgot to take out the chicken, of course, I find these stories out after when I question. I come down to dinner. I'm like, okay, what are we having? And mac and cheese, she forgot to take the chicken breast out, so she had some leftover chicken nuggets.
okay.
She cut it up and put it in the mac and cheese, and I was like, oh wow, you made breaded fried chicken? She was like, no, mom, that's chicken nuggets. But again, really, really good.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's, I guess, there's some experimentation, and when you're tight on funds, you experiment more than when you're not, because it's like,
True.
what do I do, right? The surefire easy thing is always peanut butter and jelly, because it doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot, and it's filling, right? But
She gets creative with peanut butter and jelly. I'm not a big peanut butter and jelly fan. I'm not a big fan of jelly on the whole. To me, it's just too sweet. I don't care how little you put on it.
yep.
I like jams better because they don't tend to be as sweet.
Hmm.
Um, and I am not a fan of bananas. I will smell it a mile away. I don't care. I cannot have an open mind to bananas. I'm very sorry. I just can't. Bananas just won't do it for me.
Wow.
But she made me a peanut butter and jam sandwich because we have the you get it in the Korean market. It's where they do a lot of fruits as preserves, so it doesn't tend to be as sweet.
Hmm.
With apple slices, bro. Let me tell you.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying that. Mom, just take a bite. No, I'm not. Ooh,
What? Peanut butter and apple?
bro, peanut butter with I think I want to say it was guava jam. I can't quite remember,
Okay.
but it was a slight amount of sweet. And here's the trick. Here's the trick. It was the golden delicious apples,
Hmm.
thinly sliced on toasted bread. On toasted bread.
Okay.
That was the trick. She said, "You got to toast the bread, mom. Otherwise, if you use just plain white bread, it's going to be mushy. You're not going to like it." Um, on toasted bread, and can I just say the combination of the fruit with the peanut butter? Oh,
Yep.
now I'm getting hungry. That was, yeah, that was good. That was really
Nice.
really really good.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, peanut butter and apples is good alone, but throwing a guava jam in there probably would be even better.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it was absolutely delicious, and she's been experimenting um, with a lot of different fruit.
mhm.
Um, Something that I would not really consider in her bid to try to get me weaned off of soda. She's been doing this infused water, and I've had, we've got the infused mug thingy.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm like, if I'm just gonna drink, if I wanted something flavored, I'd, give me the soda right now.
Yeah.
I don't want the infused water, bro. She did that with some watermelon.
Yep.
It's life changing. Then she did it with strawberry. She did it with kiwi. She did it with grapes. Like, how the freak? How did you get that? It just had, like, she got this really sweet grape and just sliced them up. Put it in a jug, had it chilled, and when you drank it, it
Refreshing.
was just good. It was just
Yeah.
good. It was just good.
Yeah, we do that in the summer. We have a big jug that we put in the fridge, and we fill it with water, and then we'll put something different in it every time. Sometimes it's lemons, sometimes it's limes. Uh, Cucumber is really good in it. Um, we've done the watermelon, never done grapes, but yeah, and it's just that little hint of flavor to the water, and it's very refreshing. Absolutely.
Something else she's tried as well that I really liked. Now, my sister did this with coleslaw, and she used apples in it. That was a surprise. That was really good. Then she did it with pineapple. Really enjoyed that. Well, let me tell you, buddy. Hope tried it with rehydrated raisins. Just a regular old box of sun-made raisins. She
Hmm.
took them, washed them, left them in water overnight. Added a few chunks to a few of it to the coleslaw. Life changing. I loved it. Loved it.
So I make broccoli salad and I put raisins in that, and that's really good.
Broccoli
Um,
salad. How the hell you make a broccoli salad? Do you cook
but
it or is it raw
no, no,
broccoli?
raw broccoli. Yeah, so it's raw broccoli, bacon, and then you put some cheese in it, usually cheddar, and then raisins, and then the sauce is mayonnaise, vinegar, and a little bit of sugar, and that's it.
I'm gonna have to give Hope that recipe because I let her do the grocery ordering about 2 weeks ago, and I ended up with a freezer full of broccoli spares. So
Uh, there
like,
you go.
she was like, "Mom, it was on sale." I couldn't pass up the sale. I'm like, "What are we gonna do with all this broccoli?" Well, she made some interesting meals with it, and I enjoyed it.
Roasted broccoli is awesome. If you've
How do
not
you
done
roast
that,
broccoli?
oh, so you just it has to be thawed, but you put it on you toss it in olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
and then fresh minced garlic. If you don't have that, you can use just the processed garlic powder, and put that over it. Some salt, some pepper, and Parmesan
Mm.
cheese. You roast it in the oven at 400 degrees on a pan.
Oh, that
Right
sounds delicious.
when it comes out, you take lemon juice and you just go over it lightly with lemon juice, and then a little bit more salt and pepper if you need it, or Parmesan cheese, and it is amazing.
I would tell you that a vegetable that I'm absolutely in love with, and was just shocked at the prices in the store. So whenever it's on sale, it's definitely a favorite of mine. Is asparagus.
Ah, okay.
Love asparagus. I love it. Love, love, love it. It's probably my favorite vegetable. And I will eat. Your life has not begun until you've had um, picked right off the vine a sun-warmed tomato with a little salt and pepper.
Oh no, I've done that. I've
Life
done
does
that.
not begin for you if you've never had tomato that way. So tomato
Yep.
is really a fruit. So I count that as part of my fruit, favorite fruits. But favorite vegetable, asparagus.
I have
But it's
had.
expensive.
It is. It is. And I don't make asparagus too often. I like it, but I can't make it right. It always gets stringy. I,
Ah,
as I understand it, you have to look for the young asparagus, the stalks
it's
that
got
are
to be
not
young.
thick.
It's got to be young.
Yeah.
And the best way, it's literally just not to not. I kind of flash it on the stovetop. Light amount of oil, garlic, salt, pepper. That's it. That's all I want on my asparagus. Um, and I rarely ever tend to use um, oil. To be honest, most people prefer olive oil. I really like it with the Irish butter, the Irish salt butter.
Okay.
Oh, it's absolutely delicious. And so you want to be careful you don't burn the butter, but literally, um, fresh young asparagus, rinse it off, pat it dry, in 2 seconds in the pan is really all it needs just to get
Oh,
that nice coating on it.
yeah.
And when you bite into it, you still have that crunch. It's absolutely, oh, my mouth is watering. It's absolutely amazing.
I think mine is too. It's like, you just keep talking about amazing foods. Oh boy. But yeah, no, that does sound good. And
Oh,
I
and let
would
me tell you, and I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you because I think there's a delay. So please forgive me if I am. I can't tell. Um, Amanda, recently we were having this discussion about, saving money. Turned me on to the Ibotta app. Have you tried it?
I have. I was a
Bro,
yeah,
I
I was
I first shopping because I have Walmart delivery. I have the Walmart subscription.
hmm
Bro, first time using the app. I couldn't believe it. I got back almost like $25
yeah.
in my account. Um, I just mixed it with my Walmart app. So when I go into Ibotta first, select the stuff that I normally buy, nothing different, just the stuff that I would normally buy. I'm not putting it in there just because it gives money back. I buy literally what I always buy. Um, and then I click on Walmart, and it takes me to my Walmart app. And I click at the bottom right of my screen. It brings up what I have. I click on shop, so it locates the item automatically for me in the Walmart app. Did my shopping. Not only did I get the rebate from Ibotta, but a few of the items had a rebate from Walmart as well, and it automatically uploaded my receipt. I was like, whoa, I am not shopping any other way.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't done that with in a while, and that's because I can't seem to get my login back for it. But I did use it for years. Uh, and I still have it on my other phone. It's just, I don't remember my login information, and unfortunately, if there's any kind of hiccup there, you just got to start over. And I know I'm probably sitting on close to $100 in there right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would tell you with the Walmart app, for us, it became essential. So I don't mind paying the $10. And if you choose the late day delivery,
hmm
you don't pay any delivery fee. So it's a monthly subscription. I think the total is like $9.99 or something like that. Um, I get free delivery. You could either choose the time frame that they have, and it'll tell you in the app that it's free, or you can choose express delivery, and usually it'll have like a $2 surcharge, or if it's really popular time, you could pay a $10 tip. They do have a weight limit, so I am really training Hope to be as frugal as possible. Because you know what she does? She splits up the order. So she knows that we need water. She'll just order 1 case of water, right? And that will be an order, and then leave it. And then come back and order again. So she avoids the weight limit. I'm like, yo, Hope, don't get us kicked off the app. She's like, Mom, I'm serious. I'm not paying a weight limit. I'm like, I'm not paying a weight limit fee.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, I've never done that where we've had groceries delivered. Um, uh, just yeah, I like going out, but I will say with the Ibotta app, one of the things that I would do is I would always sit down because we usually do our grocery shopping and all our errands on Sundays. I would sit down Saturday night and I would go through the entire app and I would do what you did, select the things that I know I need, and then I would look at stuff that I'm not familiar with. And I got turned on to a lot of great stuff that way. Um, you know, just a lot of what is it? I can't think of the name of the energy bars, but there were some energy bars and then the Quest cookies.
Ooh,
Those things are amazing. And there's 1 gram of sugar per cookie.
oh,
So,
nice.
there's 22 grams of protein in them. So, and they come in peanut butter, chocolate chip, and there's a sugar cookie. But the only one that really is good is the peanut butter. The chocolate chip's not horrible, but yeah, the sugar cookies, stay away. that
Yeah.
one that one tastes like it's not healthy, or that it's healthy. It's just, you can tell it's not the same. But the peanut butter one is pretty passable for a peanut butter cookie.
I love peanut butter cookies. They're
Oh,
actually
yeah.
my favorite. And I will tell you what else has become really effective. Um, and this is a great way, I think, as well to manage my ADHD symptoms. Because part of that is procrastination when it comes to things that you don't like doing. So what she has started doing, and I'm very time sensitive. I resented the time it took me to get to the grocery store, the cost to get to the grocery store, because currently we didn't have a car.
Hmm.
Um, and everything else that went with the aggravation, standing in line, all of that stuff, buying stuff because I visually see it. I'm like, oh, we could use this, not knowing what's in the pantry already.
Right.
Um, and it surprised me that she's learning a lot, because again, it's me and her sharing a household now, and she understands that finances for us, while building MNFT, there's a lot of things that we need to sacrifice on. So she's gotten really good with sticky
Hmm.
notes. For example, um, if I go to the cupboard right now, there's a sticky note on what we need. If I go to the upstairs bathroom, there's a sticky note on what we need.
Okay.
So she's gotten good on put it, because I don't like putting things on paper. She, on the other hand, puts it on paper because it helps us stay on track financially. But much
Mhm.
more than that, she said for her, it's a reminder. I had gone overboard with the sticky notes. There used to be sticky notes all over my computer, all over my room, to help me manage my ADHD symptoms. Now I was like, I swing either to the extreme or not doing it at all. So I
Right.
went to not doing it at all, because she was like, Mom, yeah, there's something wrong with you, Mom. There's sticky notes all over your room. Like,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah.
she's really fine tuned it to, I have to say, an art. And of course, she learned that skill um, from her therapist,
Okay.
which originally was supposed to be recording of her feelings. She just got into the habit of doing it for daily chores. So, for example, we have days now that we do certain things. Like today's Friday. Today was laundry. Before we went out to therapy, um, she did the laundry. I folded it up. She put it away. You swept them up downstairs. And then tomorrow it's going to be upstairs.
Okay.
So, the pattern of doing things, and I say all of this not to derail us, but the pattern of doing things help you remain consistent. And if you remain consistent, you can see the savings over time when thinking of your budget,
Hmm.
right?
Really.
Of course, you get the immediate satisfaction when you get something on sale, or you get a rebate for it, like from the Ibotta app or something like that.
Hmm.
But over a period of time, if you took your receipts and added them up the month before, um, and then you tuned into us tonight. You learned about the Ibotta app if you wasn't already doing it. You learned about Walmart rewards, or whatever grocery store that you typically shop at. Try new brands that may have equal quality of ingredients that you want, but might be more affordable.
Hmm.
Try that. Um, we all used to have the opinion of canned meat being for poor people. Um, I watched the Great Truck Show, the food truck show,
Yeah.
and I have had a whole different opinion on spam. Spam is one of my favorite things now. I have made some meals with spam that, let me tell you, bro. Yeah, I would put that against a Top Chef any day.
Yeah.
Kid you not. So, being open to trying new things, trying new ingredients, cooking a different way, cooking a different style can help you get there in terms of saving money, um, especially when it comes to groceries. So, Sometimes you may not be able to afford getting the fresh vegetables, but don't discount canned vegetables either. You get the kernel corn fresh in the can, strain it out. One thing I did learn: you don't use the sauce that the canned vegetable comes in. You need to wash it out. It gets rid of the sodium, right? Because
Mhm.
there's a lot of sodium in it.
Less
It
preservative.
gets rid of, yep, it gets rid of the sodium, and can give a different taste to your meal. So there are lots of ways that, if you're looking to save money, maybe even eat a little healthier, to be honest, that you can do so really cost effectively. And I'm
Hmm.
really looking forward to Amanda and Khadijah's show. And I'm just going to keep calling it Cooking with Crypto.
Yeah, yeah.
Until we get a name for it, right? I'm really looking forward to the episode that they do, What's in Your Pantry. And Khadijah being on camera is literally, because remember, she's got 5 kids,
Hmm.
is going to go to her pantry, and literally they're going to pick out things to cook.
Okay. Now, is that going to be like a surprise episode where it's like, she gives her a recipe to go buy and then all of a sudden just flips it on her and is like, nope, tonight's a pantry episode.
Yeah, no, that's what they're planning is literally live. They're going to go in their pantry separately, and pull it out, and Amanda's going to say, okay, this is what we can cook from it.
Nice. Nice. Now that'll be interesting.
But
Um,
see, that's the beauty of doing it live, right? Um, I think there was even some talk of an audience member saying, okay, I need you to make X, Y, and Z. Let's see if you have it in your kitchen, because Amanda prides herself on having, being a chef, a really stocked pantry, right? So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn some ways to save money. We're also going to learn some ways to cook new things. Thai curry was something I never considered, because I know coconut milk tends to be very sweet. So I would never think of pairing that with my curry. But the first episode they did with that Thai curry, definitely trying that, because she told me the trick to cutting the sweetness.
okay. Nice. Yeah, no, and I mean I made curry once before and yeah, it was the only time I made it. It was good, but you know, due to digestive reasons, I haven't made it again. Um, but yeah, I love curry. It's
Just
just,
say it, Scott. You got that white boy tummy.
yeah, yeah. Well, not so much me.
Oh, is it Megan? Oh,
I'm
please
not
say it's Megan so I could tease her. Please
no
say it's
comment.
Megan.
No comment. Um,
Oh, I
but
love it. Megan got the sensitive tummy.
well, not really. Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Just
yeah.
say it, Scott.
Well,
Don't be scared. I'll
yeah,
protect you.
yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the curry was really good. I love Indian food, but I think I'm the only one in the household that likes Indian food. But I
Okay,
also,
let me ask you this. Talking, my dad being Hindu, and um, I have, man, I love curry. Best curry
mhm,
I have used is called Chief's curry.
okay.
It is the real curry. Just the aroma of it. Oh my God, it's so good, Scott. It's so good. Um, See, again, my mouth is watering. Have you ever made curry chana, but you guys call it chickpeas, with
Mhm.
potato, with jasmine rice?
No, but
Oh,
I do like chickpeas a lot.
oh, bro,
Yep.
you have got to. You know what? I'll have Khadijah do an episode on that, because the way we eat it in the Caribbean, is something called doubles, right? So it's kind of like this fried dough with curry chickpeas, and then you add things like mango chutney. You can add tamarind sauce, all different things you can add to it to really give it a punch, and it's so tasty. But the way that I enjoy it the most is curry chana and potato with white rice. And again, I am so surprised that so many of my childhood favorites, so many of my favorite meals, actually does not include any form of meat.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And I can't say that. I think all of my childhood meals, for the most part, had a protein in it. You know, meat of some sort. But I grew up loving vegetables because, well, that's just my grandparents had a farm and there's fresh vegetables all
I
the time.
I can't think of anything better than growing up on a farm and having access to fresh vegetables.
Yep.
I remember that summer that I spent in Trinidad with my dad's parents. And it was a life changing experience for me. Again, that's why I picked tomato right off the vine for the first time. Like, my memories prior to then was kind of fuzzy because I came here as a child, on the Caribbean, and then going back because I'm used to going to the grocery store with mom, and usually, there's all this stuff packaged up. Until you've gone out to a farm and tasted right off the vine, it's a life altering experience. And I'll tell you the difference in being a parent to twins, fraternal twins, one a boy, one a girl.
Hmm.
Um, I could serve anything on a plate for Hope, absent of meat, and she's perfectly happy. My son, if it wasn't bleeding, mom was the dead animal. Like,
Yep.
this ain't food, was the dead animal. And I could tell you firsthand, boys typically do tend to eat a lot more. This is not, this is not a debate on the sexes. It's not. It's scientifically proven.
No, no,
It's
it doesn't need to be a debate.
Yeah.
I have a son, and yeah,
They do tend to
I,
eat more. So which is
oh, of
which is
course.
an expense for a parent. You've got to consider that. It's an expense for a parent when you have a son versus a daughter. And it's not because she was watching her weight. My boy was very active. This is a kid that got dirty. He would get dirt in the. Where do you find dirt in the bathtub, Scott? My son would. Like, bro, you're taking a bath. Why is there dirt on your face? I don't know, mom. I mean, like, literally, where you find dirt in the bathtub, he would find dirt. So he's a very active kid. And so what I tended to do um, was simply give him more.
Hmm.
And I calculated that into my cost.
Yep.
Um, but when you round it out, it equaled 3 adult meals,
Hmm.
right? Because Hope and I ate less. And, and I always made sure that there was some fresh fruit, a salad, and water that accompanied the meal. Um, and also to keep him healthy, this was something I learned from the doctor as well. Have him drink a glass of water before eating.
Yep. Well, that's good for anybody, because the water helps fill you up. So, drinking a full glass of water before you eat will make you get full quicker.
Well, not only that, it didn't leave him hungry in the middle of the night where he was waking up and, Mom, I'm hungry,
Mm.
kind of thing. Because to me, I will be honest, Scott, there's a period of time that being a single parent, I really struggled. And those are
Mhm.
words that I never, ever again in my entire life want to hear.
Yep.
I could go hungry, but to hear your kids say they're hungry and you
Oh,
have
yeah.
next to nothing, or you cook that one meal because that's what your budget allowed, is a really tough thing as a parent. And I know there are a lot of families that understand that. There are a lot of families that are currently going through that. And again, this method is not to deny your child getting full benefit of a full meal. It's also a very healthy way for your child to grow, because if you overfeed them, right, then they just get used to big portions. As a consequence, they might have health or weight related issues.
Mhm.
However, by giving him the water first and then allowing him to eat, he kept that full feeling. He got the portion that he needed for a growing child. So it's not to deny them, but it's a healthy way, to consider feeding your family, at least from my perspective. And again, my kids with special needs, so their doctors, they saw their doctor on a regular basis. Of course, they were on medication too. So all of these things were contributing factors. So when I say this, I want you to understand this is not a method to deny your child being fed properly. My doctor recommended it. We've tried it, and it worked well. And you should see him today, 6 foot plus, healthy kid.
Nice. That's good.
And I
Definitely.
always think it's important to share that because, being a single parent or just being parents on the whole, Scott, um, always in the back of your mind is, I'm not doing enough. I'm not
Yep.
giving enough. I'm not providing enough. So you always tend to second guess yourself.
Hmm.
These are frank discussions, and I loved, loved, loved my kid's doctor that I had in New York. She was actually voted Brooklyn Pediatrician of the Year. She was Russian. Wonderful, wonderful woman. Really helped me make sure that my kids were growing up healthy and strong, because remember, when she got them, they were preemies.
Hmm.
And when we left New York, um, was probably one of the saddest things we ever did, was going back for that last visit with her. And she had pictures of all the babies that she not only took care of, but watched grow up. And I remember putting my kid's picture up there. Um, it helped to know that when things got tough, I had healthy ways to see us through.
Nice. And I mean that, and that's it. As a parent, that is our responsibility as our children. And you know, um, yeah, I mean, Megan and I went through a tough time when Ed was little, and it rubbed off on him to the point where he will not ask for anything. No clothes, no shoes, and his pants could be, filled with holes. His shoes could be falling apart, and he just won't ask for it because when he was a little guy, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot, and we were cutting corners wherever we could to make sure that we had food on the table and
Hmm.
clothes on the back. So yeah, I mean, those things do rub off on them, but
And I didn't mean to go into all that spiel. I just, for me, the whole point of doing these episodes is to come from a genuine, authentic place.
yep,
Um, so I cannot sit up here and be someone I'm not. And part of me, and part of who I am, and part of what we're trying to do for others, is coming from a real place. Things that we've experienced, our life experiences, and what we've gone through, and how we've been able to overcome. That's the reason for us sharing.
yep, absolutely. And yeah, and I think, well, yeah, we both overcome quite a bit, and it doesn't end.
No.
There's always something, and
Oh,
it's
buddy,
just
tell me about it.
right, and it's
I'm
just
mobile today because of it, right?
right. Well, and but it's all in having the right mindset, to move forward, and then not only having the right mindset, but having the ability to make good decisions during that time frame. Because a lot of people, when they're faced with any kind of obstacle or trouble, they make a rash decision without actually thinking it through first.
Yeah,
And
because it's emotional. It's an emotional
yeah,
trigger response.
that's right, 100%. So, I hope if you've gained nothing from the first several episodes where we talked about emotional intelligence and, you know, um, just the psychology behind, money and, getting on that right track. I hope you've learned that nothing is immediate, needs to be done right now. It can be something that you can just embrace, think it through, and then make a right decision or make the right decision for you. So,
Yet, not
yeah.
only that, Scott, when you think about why we seem to go all over the map, well, here it is. Um, in order to create and manifest the wealth that you need, the wealth that you want, it all starts with the things that you utilize and on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Food is fuel.
that's right.
You can't skimp on fuel, right? However, you can shop smartly for fuel. Um, when you think of entertainment, there are lots of ways that you can still have entertainment and be cost effective. One of the things that Hope and I did today was unpack. I know it's been a year. It's literally been a year, and I'm still not unpacked. Right? Still not unpacked. Well, we dragged out a box, and she unpacked all of the games that we had. Board
Hmm.
games, the little Nintendo Cube, like the Wii, all
Yep.
this stuff. And I was like, oh wow. But what was I more excited about was the board games. Like,
Hmm.
do you realize we've gotten so much into this digital age?
Yep.
There are ways that you can really, really have a fun, engaging time as a family with your children playing a board game. And the reason why I say that, it gives you a great time to talk to your kids. Really talk to your kids, not at them. Talk with your kids and listen to the things that they tell you that's going on in their life. It's a great way to connect.
100%. I totally agree. And yeah, we a few weeks ago, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, we did that too. We pulled out a board game and we all sat down and we played it, and we had a good time doing it. But I mean, life gets busy, so you got to fit that in whenever you can. And I'd like to do it more, and especially because our son will be going away soon. We needed to be doing it more, which will probably drive him nuts. But what do
I
you do?
challenge that. I challenge that, Scott, by saying we're too busy.
Yeah,
I believe that we need to make it part of our weekly routine when
right.
it comes to our children. One of the things that I think I did poorly as a single parent was overwork and not really connecting with my kids. And after they brought that to my attention, I did not work on Sundays anymore. Sundays was dedicated to taking my kids to explore New York City, explore the state of New York. It became a routine for our family to get lost on a Sunday during the
Nice.
summertime. Because I could get lost in my own backyard. I have no sense of direction. If the GPS didn't tell me how to get there, I wouldn't know how. And so that's one of the things that we did. On a Sunday, we'll pack up the minivan, and I mean pack up the minivan with all kinds of stuff, sandwiches, whatever, and we would take a road trip. And that road trip has taken us to places that, oh my God, the best time my kids will tell you. I paid for a very expensive vacation. The first one I think we ever took as a family to Myrtle Beach. I'm talking townhouse condo,
Wow.
first class access to everything. And the one that they remember the most was when we discovered Lake Welch, upstate New York,
Nice.
which was what, $4 in parking.
Right.
four
Okay.
dollars in parking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They absolutely love it. I still look at those pictures that we had taken with them at the lake. Absolutely phenomenal time.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many cost-effective things that you can do. Take a look around your city. Usually they have family-free passes for things like the aquarium, the zoo, all these other things. When we talk about being mindful of what you spend, it does not mean stripping everything from your life to manifest or create that wealth that you want or need. It can still include all of these wonderful activities, just a more cost-effective way of taking advantage of it.
Yep. And to just go a little further on that, it also doesn't mean giving up those things that you love, but cutting back on the things that don't matter as much to you, right?
Mm,
So
love that.
like when we had Yomi with us on here, she was all about crystals, and
Mm-hmm,
that's
mm-hmm.
great. Buy your crystals, but does are you as passionate about, I don't know, as shoes or handbags as you are those? And if you're not, well, then maybe that's where you cut your corner. Instead of buying like the brand name stuff, you buy the inexpensive, 2-for-1 deals, right?
I
Um,
have not kept up with Yomi, but I can tell you that I did see her post
mhm,
where after having, remember that night we had the discussion and you said to her, hey, if this is something you really like, really passionate about, maybe you should consider creating it a business. I
yep,
did see a post that she made on Twitter, where she created this crystal, for this guy. So I do believe we need to invite her back. I do believe
yeah,
she's now officially turned it into her business.
I think she has too. I think the last time I talked to her, she was doing that. So yeah, we definitely have to have her back to let her tell us all about her adventure as entrepreneur.
Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. And so, I'm sorry, there I go again, interrupting you.
Oh, no, no, no! I was just saying, we're at our hour mark, so you know
Already?
already time
I'm
flies,
on the
right?
mobile, so I can't tell. I'm actually in the
Um,
bathroom hiding in the therapist's office. Well, I hope he's in the
oh,
office.
oh, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up. Any closing statements, and then we'll call it a night. Let you get back to hope.
Um, y- y- you know, it's been a rough couple of months. I know I'm not alone with that. A lot of us are dealing with one stress trigger or another. And sometimes it can get lonely, frustrating, and depressing, right? Um, but every day that you wake up is an absolutely new opportunity to do something different, to change what you don't like. And none of this needs to be implemented immediately. It can be a slow process. Baby steps. Never underestimate the power of baby steps to get you where you need to go. There's always, always light at the end of the tunnel.
Always. Absolutely. Well said. And yeah, I can't agree with you more. Um, this episode started out with, you know, cost efficient foods and has evolved into a little bit more, right? As they always do every week.
Yep.
And, and why not, right? I mean, it just makes for entertaining content. But yeah, I mean, it all starts somewhere. And if you can, like we said before, substitute, one or two things a week to get you started, you know, why not? And when you're cooking your dinners, if you can make a dinner for a fraction of what you normally spend or what you would spend going out, that could be a way for you to have some money to set aside to get you on that right path, to get you to visualize that end
Mm.
tunnel. So, yeah, that all good stuff, all good stuff. And make sure that you check us out on Monday night or Mondays with Khadija and Amanda with, you know, Cook and Learn, Cooking with Crypto, whatever we want to call it. I don't think we have a name yet,
How
but
about cooking, cocktails, and crypto, or crypto, cocktails, and cooking? I don't know.
oh, that's
Triple
right.
C.
That's right. That's the one we're allowed to drink on. So
Yes, that
we're,
is the one
we're
that we are going to be watching them cooking while we run the commentary, right? We run the commentary. We're not in the kitchen. We're running the commentary, and Scott and I decided that we will be doing the adult beverages to watch them cook.
yep, absolutely. And then that should get interesting.
And then right after Cooking with Crypto, MNFT is live on Twitter, typically for
Right.
an hour, where we talk business, right? We're either speaking with other business owners that are building in Web3 or utilizing the hybrid model to bring their businesses to Web3, where it's an additional revenue stream. Hidden Studios is always active and come on and share some great stuff with the game they're building. They're doing some phenomenal stuff. We usually have Dragon Scales. He's the guy behind building a lot of metaverses for a lot of other business projects as well. We talk about Heroes Token and what they've been doing, coming out with their NFT project soon. We talk about the updates for MNFT and pushing forward with our expo that we're going to be doing hopefully in New Orleans in September. So lots of good stuff to tune in on a Monday night for.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, with that being said, you have a great night. Get back to your daughter, and we'll catch up later. All right.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.